Okay, I am here with Dr. Nathalie Tocci. She is the director of the Institute for International Affairs in Rome, and she's also the special advisor to High Representative of the EU for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Federica Mogherini, on behalf of whom she wrote the European Global Strategy. Now, Dr. Tocci, you were responsible for writing the EU Global Strategy, and now you're trying to implement the strategy. What are some of the steps you are taking?
Well, the first, I would say, almost 2 years of implementation were very heavy on defence. Now, the first goal of the EU Global Strategy is indeed the security of the Union. It's quite clear that the aspects on which the European Union has been weakest have precisely been on the defence side. And hence, I think it was both for reasons that are inherent in the strategy itself, as well as a number of events that took place after the strategy was published, from Brexit to the election of Donald Trump, to the further escalation of conflicts and crises in the surrounding regions of the European Union, that defence was going to be where the heavy lifting was going to be done. Now, this was essentially the story up until December of last year. In 2018, a new priority, again connected to the implementation of the global strategy, which has been highlighted by the European Council in December of last year, is to have a similar strong push on the civilian side of the common security and defence policy. Now, the European way, if you like, to security and defence is indeed in this interplay of, if you like, soft and hard security. So it was, I think, necessary to have a strong push on defence at the beginning, but now equally clear that there has to be an equally strong push on revamping the EU's civilian capabilities.
And what is today the relationship between the European Union and NATO?
Well, I think what's interesting is that the developments over the last couple of years have really proved all those that raise the spectre of duplication and of basically competition between the European Union and NATO wrong. What's interesting, I think, is that precisely in these last few years in which there have been these pretty important steps forward on European defence. I mean, how much they will actually deliver, they will have to see in time, but I think it's already fair to say that more has been done over the last few years than certainly in the last decade or decades, that this has happened precisely at a time in which EU-NATO cooperation has actually been strengthening quite significantly, which I think goes to show that the EU and NATO both have to deal with hard and soft security, and they have to do so working together.
One of the major initiatives of the past few years has been PESCO. What exactly is PESCO? And is PESCO the answer to EU security and defence cooperation?
Well, PESCO is a possibility. It's a possibility allowed for in the Treaty of Lisbon for a group of willing and able member states to come together in order to make the big leap forward on defence. Now, specifically, what does it mean? It basically provides, I mean, in the articulation of what PESCO actually means in light of the decision, it provides an institutional, a legal, and a set of financial incentives for Europeans to cooperate more systematically on defence. We know that European defence cooperation is something that has been talked a lot about, and it has never come about. And if it has never come about, then maybe we need to have some institutional, legal and financial incentives to make it happen, and PESCO is the way to do it. Now again, whether this is going to be realised or not, time will tell. Is this a possibility that has never been experimented in the past? Yes, it is.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.